focused, man's on a mission. Wavy like the ocean, ain't got time for inhibition. Eyes on a prize, lock it in your vision. Straight up, man, that's gotta make a decision. Stay focused, man, I gotta go. Can't be going backwards, I can't be going slow. Gotta take the lead and I gotta steal the show. It's a straight up madness, you know how we roll. Straight up madness, you know how we roll. Yeah, and I gotta stay focused. In and out some slowness, back then they didn't take notice. Oh, and dropping deserve a bonus. So many bars, no folders. Chopping it up with the orders. On the ones and twos on mic controlling. Yeah, I got a gal going crazy, and the man them on one too. Don't know about you, but man need a drink, I make it free. Thought I was gonna say two, but the rave looking like a zoo. Gotta finish what I started, cause that's the way we do. Stay focused, man, I gotta go. Can't be going backwards, I can't be going slow. Gotta take the lead and I gotta steal the show. It's a straight up madness, you know how we roll. Madness, you know how we roll. Straight up madness, you know how we roll.
Falling short, diving deep. Where is the water taking me? Trying hard, bittersweet. Cabin fever's pulling me. I want to hold on to something greater. I feel the waves come crashing in. I'm drowning, drowning, drowning.
think everyone wants to blame it for everything? No.
Yo, 1, 2.
I'm not sure if my voice is coming through or not.
Yo, 1, 2.
We can set the world on fire, fire.
Be quiet. This is the one that I was watching the other day.
And look at that, our message was received on the server, and you can tell because we passed in our client ID, and the server sent a message right back that says right back at you, client count number 1.
Okay, that's not a big deal.
For the high stakes heartbreak that surrounds me. You want me, you won't let me go. So I burn slow. I can feel you coming like a wildfire. I'm just a fuel, baby.
You how to make a simple networked FPS game with Godot 4 and Blender 3. I'll walk through it one step at a time, so check the timestamps in the description if you're only interested in certain parts. This project uses something called Universal Plug and Play, which should work for most people out of the box, but you may need to check your router settings at some point to make sure that UPnP is enabled. I'm no networking pro, this was just the simplest starting point to online multiplayer I could find, and I had a lot of fun making little projects like this. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's get started. Okay, I've got a brand new Blender file open here, and I'm going to make an environment for the game effect. Alright, so it's time to start thinking about some of the multiplayer aspects of this project, and we're going to start by making a main menu so that players can choose to either host or join an instance of the game, and then later, when we start wiring that up, I'll explain a little bit about how the logic of that all works. So I'm going to go back to the world scene over here, and I'm going to start by deleting this player node here. That was just there for testing purposes. We're going to instance them in later in a different way. And then I'm going to go to the 2D view, close this panel, and then on the world node, I'll click that and Control-A, add a canvas layer, and to that I'm going to add a panel container, and I'm going to name that main menu, and then I'll give that a join button text between my functions, and up some of this up then. Okay, so let's say the player clicks the host button. Well, the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to hide the main menu with main menu. Down, spawn in a player. public networks. A player, when the client joins, well, we can wire up a signal here on the server by going multiplayer.peer connected.connect, and then we'll connect it to time a client signal time 2, and then down here I'll upwards. So layer here to 2, then I'll remove the 1, don't collide, and it's propelling them upwards. The player both of them right now, so we're going to have to fix that. Only spawn in the server, and they're both being controlled to spawn the players in both. At a multiplayer spawner node, then I'll go to spawn path, and we're instancing the players as a child of this world node here. So I'm going to select this as the spawn path, then I'll go to auto spawn list, add element, click this folder icon, then I'll select player.tscn because this is what we're spawning and this is what we need spawned in all of the clients. So I'll open that there, save, and then let's try this again. So I'll host here and I'll move over here. Then I'll join. And then we can see that the client connects as well. And you can't see it because you can only see one player, but they're actually both spawned here. They're just both in the same exact spot because the authority hasn't been set yet as well. So the next thing we'll do is we'll funding player. Once we set the player function above ready, multiplayer authority server and the client funding player script over here, and then I'll make set multiplayer authority string name to int because this has to be an integer, and
This is the getting started. It was a multiplayer spawner. Okay, so I'm starting to get a little bit of this, but from the video though, he's doing it a little straightforward.
And name actually isn't stored as a string. And then we're going to have to check for this authority in ready, unhandled input, and physics process. So starting with ready, we'll do if not is multiplayer authority. So if it's not the authority, return, don't execute this code. So we're going to add one more line here, and that is we want to make sure that the camera is current for the correct player character. So here we're going to say camera.current equals true. So that will make that the case. And then we'll just copy this line and we'll just drop it in the first line of unhandled input and physics process as well. And then I'll save. And then let's take a look. So over here, I'll host. Okay, and then I'll join here. And there we go. I'm only controlling one character over here, and then on the server, it's the same case, but they're not synchronized, and that's the next thing that we have to fix. So just like with the world scene and the multiplayer spawner node, Godot 4 introduces a really simple way to synchronize things between scenes, and I'll add it here. I'll click Player, Control A, and that's going to be the multiplayer synchronizer node. So all we have to do is add the properties that we want to sync in here. So the ones that I'm going to sync are player position, player rotation, and camera rotation, just so we can see that pistol move up and down. Okay, and that's it. It should work just like that. So I'll host here again, and I'll join a client here, and boom, up and down, left, right, see it moving. Let's check the other one. Yeah, it works. Pure magic. All right, so we've got some stuff synchronized now, but one thing that we don't is actually the shooting animation. You'll see I'm shooting in one game instance and the corresponding player isn't shooting in the other, and that's just because the play shoot effects function is only being called locally. So how do we call it in the remote instance? Well, what we have to do is we have to add this annotation here called RPC, but if we call this as an RPC function, it's only going to be called on the remote instance, so we also need to add something here called call local so that it's called in both. And then in order to call this as an RPC function, instead of calling the function like this, we call it by writing the function name and then writing RPC just like that. So now if I start this up, I am shooting in both. And you can see that in the remote version of the player, the animation, the idle animation doesn't start up afterwards. So how do we do that? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a signal from the animation player. So I'll go to animation finished, connect that up to the player, and then here I'll just check if anim name equals shoot. So after the shoot animation finishes, anim player dot play idle. And let's just take a look at that. Okay, and you can see the idle animation resumes on the remote player as well. Okay, so we've got the necessary pistol animation set up now, but we don't have any shooting taking place in the sense that we're damaging any players or anything like that. So let's set that up now. And the first thing I'm going to do is
very interesting. So I'm getting kind of the idea here. So it doesn't seem to be too bad, but there's going to be some setup going. I'm still interested in like this scene multiplayer and stuff, because from the way he's setting up, I think everything is kind of like hard-coded, manually connected, and I don't know. From what I'm understanding, you can make this a little more generic too, right? Calling, allowing to run both client and server. By default, has a reference of this class across the whole scene. And uses to provide multiplayer, right? .RPC, right? Okay, whatever. So, sure. And I guess that's a little bit what we have to do, right? Because this is the base methods and we have to extend them probably with our stuff like shoots and synchronize this, synchronize that. And that's what I'm kind of getting the vibe of. But this peer connections, this is from a server point of view. Let me see how he did the server thing, because that's what first, before we even get started, Godot get in LFS, because gonna tell me how to initialize it. I think it's just regular git init with the LFS install, I think. Godot's built-in plugin. Whatever, I just want the way to do it. It's all videos nowadays.
David Snowpay.
25 minutes? Okay, because he explains why. Just what's the setup commands? It's not that not that difficult. It's like 3 or 4 commands, I think. So I'm just gonna have to do. I think I can just do git init and be done with all this crap. No. Just okay. So from what I'm gathering, I'm making it more complicated than I need to. I just need to. Where are you? Terminal. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, then I just need to come in here. CD stream Godot projects. CD squash. No, that's not where I'm at now. Now I'm in drive-through. Okay, git. This is what? This is the. Why do I have a folder inside of a folder? How do I have this structure like this? It's a little wonky. I have a. Why is my terminal being so stupid? I don't know what the hell's going on with this terminal. It's been acting weird. Oh, I think it's because the scaling. Yeah, okay. So where was I? I'm in drive-through, so that's kind of stupid. Hang on a second. I prefer doing this. Here. I see what happened. Let me close all this out. Close. We good. Okay. So all I need to do is come here, cut all this, come here, paste, come here, delete. Oh, who's opened it? Oh, this. Okay. So now I'm in here. Git init. Git install LFS. And git install is it what? Git. Oh shit. There it is, yeah. I did it backwards. Oh, I might already have it actually. There we go. Git status. Git ignore. What am I ignoring right now? For now, I'm not ignoring anything, right? So, git commit. Save. Oops, I forgot to track everything. It's been stupid because of why. -A should track, but whatever. I think it's the first one. That's fine. Boom. There we go. So what's in this? Man, I have to do this for a whole bunch of shit, don't I? Boom. Get LFS column. Get attributes. Otherwise, I'm just leave it. Use binary file. No, I was actually gonna do that. Yeah. The tracking I'll deal with a little bit more later when I'm kind of dealing with actual more scenes and shit that aren't gonna be. They're changed more in a binary, not text based, right? And I know they're gonna be. But for now, don't need any of that. Okay, so I can open up Godot back up. Kinda. Let me see here. Okay. I still need to see about this whole setup as far as who is the server. Well, right now he's saying host or join, so that means anybody can be anything, right? So that's fine. But I'm not gonna want that. I'm gonna want a different binary, different project for the server. Yes. I just did that. Christ. So this means that fine. That's why he has to do the whole. I get it now. He's doing this because it's just the same project as both. It's not quite what want to do here. What I want to do is a little bit different. I don't want the clients to have server capabilities for starters. So that shouldn't even be in there. I'm really thinking about doing separate project for the server. Separate project for the server, and then server actually outputs the video, right? Because that's what I want. I don't want all the viewports, spout stuff to be in the client, right? Now, sure, I can keep it like this just to be like woohoo, but I can't host on the web. Yeah, that's gonna be tricky. So the client here is going to be. Is it going to be a multiplayer scene? I don't know how this is going to work. I need to see more about how the server architecture is going to be. Um, uh-huh. Sure. Exactly. Godot uses mid-level abstraction. Right. I'm getting it. It's the middleware here, so we don't know much about it. It's based on RTC multiplayer. And web multiplayer. For ad hoc, Bluetooth, or custom device. Fine, but I don't really want that either. What's the ENET one is what I was looking at, and it's like this other ENET connection. Oh, it's just because it's UDP. Yeah, it's because it's UDP, I guess. And a peer, this is another thing that I don't want either. I don't think I want peer to peer for sure. This is true. Here, see, I don't want that. I don't want that. The peer here is a server, not when hosting a server. Yeah, machine, node. Tree, each node is configured with the same multiplayer API. This is fine. Okay, I got you. So on the client application, it's gonna be literally the client, and here's gonna be create a server. Okay. This guy have more than one open. Did he do a different instance? Host join UI.
Some of this up then. Server, and that server is going to have to live on an open port. So I'm going to go to new player clicks the host button, and we are ready to start wiring. We're going to want to have to live typically, and then I'll go, then I'll create, then I'll paddles, capital.
Yeah, okay, but how did he run more than one?
Make sure that you give want to give this application access to your private and public network online with file, and I'm going to do that by copying here to create client of the and from here. See the animation. So let's see. So and it'll spawn one every single time the client connects. So let's go to debug run multiple instances, and we're going to run 2 instances now.
Debug run multiple instances. Let's run instances. Enable there. That all I need to do is check this enable. A different version. Oh, I get it. Here's 2 instances. I come here. Now it's going to run 2 instances. I'm going to do that because both of them have spout and all this. So I need to think about how I'm going to do this. Should I go ahead and just do it? Yeah, I need to do this. So this is the drive-through. In a way, this is actually kind of meant setting up to be the serve because it's got the viewport. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clone this project and call it a new one. This one's going to be the client, and I'll create a new project, drive-through server. And the drive-through server is the one that's going to have the viewport to spout, so I can control the camera and things, and it'll also be the server. Does that make locally on a machine? Fellows. How if you can just be a client? Yeah, there might be things I want everybody to trigger on everybody. There might be things I want. Well, one way or another, I am not making. All the server really needs to do is be delivered by a static and they connect to a. Let me just do a quick look for Go headless server. Let me see what shows up. Dummy. Nice. Okay. Okay. So this is good. So I can okay. So I can make a dedicated version. I can put it in headless mode. Uh, exactly. And in headless mode, remove stuff like that. Exactly. If I can headless, and I can just be like, don't do the spout, disactivate shit, and there we go. And all it does is serve. Synchronize, right? Repair handling, all the stuff we're talking about from like the server point of view here. But when they connect to localhost, they're actually going to be connecting to my server, which would be this. This is not going to be the big deal. Um, let me see. Does it export for Linux? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it can, right? Godot. A Linux build, beautiful. And if it's headless, then that means it probably doesn't need graphics at all. Dedicated servers, exactly. In the Linux export, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Yeah. Then I can control things with even another client. Golly, I'm gonna have three applications then, right? It's gonna be a bitch. Like just making different builds, but I don't know how to do that. Let me see here. Create multiple builds. Instances, yeah, whatever, but that's not gonna make necessarily a build. I would have to make some kind of logic. Let me think about this then. Yeah, I do have three different clients. So in a way, I could actually go. So the web is going to have just the client. I'll have the dedicated server manages the clients, and I'll have another one. Well, I think the commands. I just have to put secure. I want to do security. If I did make another client, my idea is if I don't have if the commands aren't even available, that's not about security and how far but hey, whatever. We'll start from there. If it gets hacked, I'll just turn it off. I'll just be a client like everybody else. I'll have like a password or something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Does the multiplier use Godot multiplayer SSTLS? Does it use TLS? Yeah, 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 yeah. Nice, 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 nice. Beautiful. Sure, you can put any shirt you want, but if it doesn't match with mine, it's not gonna connect. Private keys is generally not recommended. What's the private key? What's the private key? Why would what? Book certificate. Oh, I get it because sure, that's on the server side. I'll deal with that with environment variables. I know how to do that. Pow pow. Oopsies. Burping like a pig. My overlays up, but oh well. All right, so I'm starting to get this. So then the dedicated server will be fine, fine. And how I was seeing people can connect with the TLS support, blah blah blah. All right. In two different projects is going to be a bit. Don't want the server. Sorry for I'm thinking about a question here. I'll tell you what. I'll use Grok. Grok was actually working pretty decent for me yesterday. It's a little slow though. Not logged in. Um, I think I can. I'm asking the question and I'm figuring it out. If I'm not mistaken, I can probably make I think what it's called build templates or whatever. Um, yeah, I think I can make like a build template. For example, I can say here Linux, right? Blah 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 debug, whatever, whatever. But I think I can use a flag because basically what I want is on builds to say, hey, I'm server stuff, I'm client stuff. That way, all the server shit is not in the client, and all the the client shit can be in the server. But I'm trying to make it two builds in the same application. But otherwise, I'll make a whole different project. But the problem making a whole different project is it doesn't know what world is what, right? It doesn't know any world in the game and the assets. What the remote procedure does, it just says, hey, do this, do that, but it doesn't actually have the assets. Exactly. Let me go back to here. I'm gonna ask it the question anyway, because a little ago that I'll leave it like that. It'll figure it out. It's gonna think for a while. While it's think. Oh, that was quick. Oh, I didn't do like the deep whatever. I guess. Uh, yeah, but where's if server being? Where is server? But where's to do that? Code. Just put it into. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Make separation easier. Yeah, that's not a problem. Headless export. Exactly. Only to include those paths. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, that makes sense. So when I make the headless build, I say headless and also only the server stuff, and then obviously common. It does need common, I guess. Server build, minimal assets. See, that's what it is then. So it does need the scenes required for spawner. So in essence, it needs everything. Yeah. I guess it needs to reference the stuff. Although it's not rendering it, right? I I guess it's just because the server in itself has to render everything, right? In order to be able to synchronize, because it has to have a state of the game itself, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Otherwise, things will desync if you just try to do raw. Use the source of truth, right? physics stuff. Doesn't need is like single player games. That's cool. The server may still need them. Yeah, even in a headless build. Exactly. Although you can exclude visual assets if they're not there. Fine. I don't care about the size and shit right now. That's fine. Do I want to start with all this? I think so. I think I do because I need to have very clear. And when I do the multiple instances, right, I can do launch arguments, main runs, but I can't like make this. How is it? No, that's when I export it, right? When I run it, oh, that's gonna be weird. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to do like this, isn't it? Almost like I almost need two different things. Where's the build templates and the export release? Yes, it then. Let's create the build and everything. Because that's gonna be yeah. I got it. I got it. Here it is. Okay. So in here, launch arguments, I would put like one with the server, one with the thing. And that way I get a server and I get a thing. Okay. And the server can have everything the same. The only thing what's the difference between it's separate like this? Why am I trying to do so hard to do? My stream stop. Um, reason why I don't want the server code there is because server I want to have things like commands like boot band player, right? Start race and whatever. And I don't want that in the. It's going to have its own start party, but it's going to be like to do it, not to invoke it on other people. If they connect to a different server or somehow, yeah, I think it doesn't really matter what I'm doing. Think about it. I don't know why I'm needing to iterate what I'm kind of already suspecting, but whatever. Exactly. I meant to say boots, but not. Exactly. Let me test this whole server, dedicated server, and separating logic stuff. Maps and add-ons. Thank you. Bravo. Thank you. Bravo. It's just scripts. It's just so I don't really need a scene. Stop this. For now, I'm going to just keep it in maps. I do need to separate try to put a cars directly. Assets or things like text, audio files, right? Done with some of the stuff. So common. Right now, I'm importing everything directly from like the GL, which is not what the long term for more skill. I'm about to make a break. I gotta go eat cars, and then I'm gonna put some cars in here. Now I'm gonna just make a scene called remember the damn shape. PSG box. And be done with keep it as a box. Shape card, which is just. But now I can come back to. I'll be back. We'll make an intermission here. Where are you? Okay. Same thing, stupid.
But I like the way you fire, darling. I'm ready. The demons unleashed from your mind hold me steady. Yeah. 'Cause you want me, you won't let me go. So I burn slow. I can see you coming like a wildfire. I'm just the fuel, baby, you're the lighter. If I'm not careful, you'll burn right through my soul. Burning like a wildfire. Careful, you'll burn right through my soul. Burning like a wildfire. Dynamizer. I can feel you coming like a wildfire. I'm just the fuel, baby, you're the lighter. If I'm not careful, you'll burn right through my soul. Burning like a wildfire. Dynamizer.
Drum hit your face, you be like. When the bass drum hit your face, you. Drum hit your face, you be like. When the bass drum hit your face, you be like. When the bass drum hit your face, you.
It's like a glitch I can't control. Someone's fucking with my dough. Kind of voodoo shit, you know. You know, you won't find me tongue-tied. No witness on my side. Harmonies when I cry. This stuff makes me nauseous. Losing what they taught us. Gotta tread real cautious. But I go back to default. I go back to default. I go back to It's like a glitch I can't control. Someone's fucking with my door. Kind of voodoo shit, you know. You know, but you won't find me tongue-tied. No witness on my side. Harmonies when I cry. This stuff makes me nauseous. Losing what they taught us. Gotta tread real cautious. I go back to default. 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 I go back to For a second I thought it was you. Thought it was you. Thought it was you. Thought it was you. For a second I thought it was you. Thought it was you. I thought I had eyes on. For a second I thought it was you.
Also being dumb because I can literally just like run the scene. I think it's easy. I think it's already starting to lose name. put in Ethernet layer. But this is like the low level. I don't need that. So here, for example, let's say here, multiple. Here to buy. Yeah, but if I make it peer-to-peer, it'll be kind of prone to have like audience. But I do want to do something about that. Do like peer-to-peer like this. Well, you can, if there's no general consensus or involved, then you can poison shit pretty easily. I'm gonna go with the classic. The only thing is we're just gonna use using ENET or what RTC. What socket multiplayer? This is the one base class. I mean, they'll know of each other, of course. They'll have each other's IDs and stuff. This is exactly the point. Using ENET, I'll use
server now as well, and I'm going to do that by copying some of this up then. Okay, so let's say the player clicks the host.
I'm gonna be jumping ahead. Whatever. Got a map, I got a shape card, client type server, scripts. Ah, shit. How am I gonna do this building? I gotta figure out the building first. Hello world, I need entry points for both are gonna be different. Look at the manage export template. Damn, a gigabyte in templates. Holy shit. So this turned into completely a web game. In a way, it can be local. I think it makes it much like play with better graphics. That's not the point.
Helpless, defeated, holding on to something I've needed. I'm looking for a reason, finding out you're wanting a demon. Helpless, defeated, holding on to something I've needed. I'm looking for a reason, finding out you're wanting a demon. And you took it all away from me. And you took it all away.
Oh, wait a minute. Can I make it a web? Oh, it's just not, yeah, it doesn't make sense. You never close the window. Perfect. Yeah, thing is, server needs a different. He's custom template. A piece of template? I don't think I'm looking at the right place. They're both get started from the same point. Server part. Man, the template does look for. The template I think is like the private. This very interesting. Everything. The server is everything. Client is only the web. Now I need to give it a run. Main server. But I got no main scene. Main scene is this. Main scene is this. That's not what I want. That's map. Like comment scenes. Folder assets. These maps are new programs. So this should start going along here. Okay, so should start going along. What's the idea? The idea is I have a main. And it loads another scene. And that scene be the soul. Server, the point where they're server haven't moved the map yet. Or the map is already loaded. Server is in the same. I set up. And if it's server,
But
let's just watch a little bit here.
well, the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to hide the main menu with main menu.hide equals open. So this will multiplayer peer create server. And I'll pass in that port number. Then I'll go multiplayer peer equals that enet peer. And so now, once this runs, the server should be up and running. We just need to spawn in a player for the host. So let's get a reference to the player scene here. Const capital player equals preload, and then I'll drag in the player scene here. Okay, so now let's make a function down here so that we can actually spawn them. Func add player peer id var player equals player dot instantiate player dot name equals string peer id. This is going to be used for authority purposes later. And then add child player. Okay, so now we just call it
Child, so it's going to add that to its world, right? To its start, right? Yeah. What I think I need to do is have a server name, because then I can just say load stuff and then work. The actual reactions probably would tell it, hey, load these assets. And with the world. Means I need a
from up here, so add player, and then we can get the peer ID for the host by going multiplayer.get unique ID. Okay, so let's play this. The first time that you run this, it's probably, at least if you're on Windows, this is what it does for me. It's probably going to ask you if you want to give works fine right now. So and we need to pass it in add player, going multiplayer peer ID instances, and we're going to run two, and then down here I'll see the animations going together. So host, and I'll actually move over here and then join, and there we go. So two are connected. However, the host, the server, is controlling both of them right now, so we're going to have to fix that. Okay, so a second player connects when the client joins the server, but currently they only spawn in the server and they're both being controlled by the server. So there's a couple things we have to change here, but the first thing that I'm going to fix is I'm going to spawn the players in both instances. So I'm going to go to the world scene. I'll click world, Control A, and I'll add a multiplayer spawner node. Then I'll go to spawn path, and we're instancing the players as a child of this world node here. So I'm going to select this as the spawn.
I'm going to go through all this. I'm just going to do this way. Regretting it. Way too much complicated stuff. Then I want to create different exports. The exports is fine. It's just the versions, right? But if it's server on the server, I don't play. I guess I do. The server is me. No. The server is itself. Alright, I think I want to